let's go. Yeah.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
yeah, hey, look what I got. New whip with no top. Cooking up no stove top. Ice cold, no snow drop. Big budget ass, big facts. Big money in the contract. Been running no contact. New record with the new tracks. Yeah, they been sending me new plaques. I don't really need new plaques. Nah, big rock with the suplex. Yeah, new rock got a new flex. Yeah, I'm current, I'm a new trend. Now boys with the full scent. Yeah, like I said, no new friends. We don't really need new friends.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sense.
Yeah. Ay. We go from humble to flexing. You DM, I'm texting. She hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing. The king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect him. A press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon. The demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing. You DM, I'm texting. She hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing. The king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect him. A press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon. The demon, the session, we killing the pack. We slaying witches and demons, making a list like I'm Steven. This ain't the Garden of Eden. Playing this game, it's not even. I come with soldiers and legions. That is my name that you speaking. All of y'all live for the weekend. I don't know what you believe in. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. She rocking the 2-piece and look like a snack. Stay out of trouble, but I got a new scheme. I'm sipping on wine while they sipping on that. I done told y'all if I see it, I cop it. You see what we rocking, we dripping all black. You being off, you seen this deposit. We brought a few bags and there's more in the back. I got riches storing up in heaven. I'm a big gorilla, I got ape aggression. Young and jaded like an adolescent. I'm slightly faded like an evanescent. Brand new villa up on the East Coast. You better come through because we stay progressing. If you roll with us, you better unpack before God teaches you an eternal lesson. Roll with me, you're gonna learn something. Roll with me, you're gonna earn some. We in the forest like we Fern Gully. If it's feeling off, I discern some. Clean hearts, but we stay muddy. Too smart, but we stay study. Staying face, cause we too ugly. All these jokers think they too funny. We go from humble to flexing. You DM, I'm texting. She hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing. The king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect him. A press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon. The demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing. You DM, I'm texting. She hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing. The king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect him. A press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, a demon, a session, we killing the pack.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Go to the fucking gym.
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, busses, hustles, and yo-hos? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you as powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you beaches. Welcome to the show. All right, welcome to Swolina Wine Mixer. We are here for a Monday Beastcast. We have new releases and we have some announcements. We have the final results of Merch Madness, not the official winners, but we have which shirts won, and then we'll let you guys know who was first, second, third place and stuff like that in this upcoming week. But we do have the results for which merch won Merch Madness, and we'll get into that later in this episode. We also have new releases. We got new merch today. I am rocking the Defying Obesity. I also got Hamilton in, but I haven't put that one on yet, but here it is. Let me see. Got some Hamilton. Got some new merch. Everyone loves a merch delivery. I get all excited. I'm like, hey, Mama Swolio, guess what? I got something in. I got new merch. And she's like, oh my God, more merch. We have merch just everywhere. There's just shirts all over the house. Look at that, Hamilton. Look at that absolutely epic design. I love it. Anyway, papaswolio.com. Check it out for all the merch. Speaking of merch, we have this 5-star review from Janet. Janet says, my favorite gym shirt of all time. Comfortable, funny, motivating. I love it. Back to the fucking gym. Is it perhaps not just the favorite gym shirt of all time? Is it perhaps the greatest Merch Madness shirt of all time? We will find out, because Back to the fucking Gym was in the final 4. And, we are going to find out which one survived. But great shirt. Great shirt. I love Back to the fucking Gym. It's one of my absolute favorites. It absolutely is. Absolutely is. Let's get into that tip. Just an inch. Just an inch. It's cold outside. All right. Here we go. First one today is from A.A. Ron. All right. Aaron says, did lots of leering at my local quality lifting center today, and it was a killer workout. I've had good workouts, but today was awesome since it was Sunday, and I was able to rock out the sled pull and push at my lifting center to end my workout. Happy Sunday/Monday whenever y'all see this. Stay swole. Absolutely based. I love it. What a great design. I was actually just outside in the fucking gym, and I have the quality lifting center on the outside of it. And I was just admiring it, just laughing at it, because I need to take down some of those flags on top. I'm just going to leave like 1 or 2 or 3. I'm going to move them around a little bit, but the quality lifting center is awesome. I love it. I love it. So good rock, good choice, good merch, and good workout. So good for you, Aaron. Thanks for sharing. Make sure you go and comment on that in the app. Allie says, hello, first time poster on the app. Oh, hello, Allie. I unfortunately injured my back, but now that it's feeling decent, I'm going to start doing more yoga, cardio, and focus on lifts that don't aggravate the injury. I spent last week feeling sorry for myself, so enough of that. based. Don't sit around and gloat or just mope. Get up, get it going. And this is why we follow the 7 pillars right behind me. You could download your copy over at swolenormousx.com. But this is why we focus on the 7 pillars. It keeps your North Star. Also, over the weekend, Allie, if you don't know, if you listen on Apple Podcast or Spotify, you can listen to the Weekend Swolosophy. And I know a lot of you liked it. A lot of you dropped comments on Spotify, so that's awesome. And I answered a bunch of them. So make sure you go and check those out. It'll keep you fired up and keep you focused over the weekend. Reminder, we do have Swole for Life. Drop that in the comments down below. Look at the Pinkston Churchill.
I like it.
We have Rufus also off the camera as always, but hashtag Swole for Life for a chance to win today's Swole card. We got 2 more. We got this one. We got a little Rate My Meal early in the show because we got it from the app. Luis says, rate my meal. I shall. Last night's fuel chicken cooked in bacon grease with bacon, eggs, avocado, mushrooms, peppers, queso fresco. Real food, no BS, just results. You know, this looks like real bacon. It don't look like turkey bacon. We got 4 eggs. Look at this. What a plate. What a plate. Good man. Good man. Enjoy. Enjoy. That's like a carnivore plate, huh? Lots of protein, lots of fat, lots of delicious. Good for you. We have this from Vasco. Weekend Swolosophy 3607 was great and helped me start off my day in a better mood. Was sitting in my car thinking about some normal life stressors, work, family obligations, etc. And it helped me to remember and practice being grateful for the positive things in my life as well. Absolutely love these weekend Swolosophies. Thanks, Papa. You are welcome. Good sir. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So 3607. And this is why it's great that, you know, we still number every single podcast, because then it's easy to reference. It's easy to lock in. It's easy to tell someone else. You just tell someone the name of an episode and be like, what? There's thousands. So the numbers really help tremendously, but hope you enjoyed that. Was Saturday's episode. So make sure you go and check out 3607. And we got a lot of great responses on Spotify also. So glad you enjoyed it, Vasco. And so Luis is eating good. Vasco's banging his ear holes. Allie is posting in the app. Aaron's making gains at the Quality Lifting Center. Swole Fam's crushing it. Swole Fam's crushing it. It's a good day. It's a good day and it was a good weekend. And now it is time for Rate My Meal. For Rate My Meal. You don't eat that anymore? No more turkey bacon for Aaron? Oh my goodness. All right, what do we got here? Let's see what we got. Let's get into some Rate My Meal. Let's rate some more meals. Daniel Buxton. We did this one last time. I'm tired of these repeats. Are these all repeats? Hold on a second. Maybe I opened the wrong, maybe I opened the wrong folder. Sometimes it doesn't reload before I open. So those were old. I know. I see it. I can tell. These didn't reload. So these are old. It didn't sync up. All right. So we did that. All right. So we're going to skip that and we're going to move right into questions. So no Rate My Meal today. We're going to stick with Luis and we got a 10 out of 10. So round of applause. 1 Rate My Meal today. So it's good. We don't want to see shit meals anyway. All right. So let's get into some other ish. Let's move right on to questions. Right into questions. And then we have releases too. So we got plenty of stuff to get into. All right. Drop your question in the comments. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Let's see what we got here. We'll take the first one from Sterling on Rumble. I don't think anyone's going to miss Rate My Meal today. No one wants to see pizza or donuts or anything anyway. So eat your steak, eat your chicken, eat your potatoes. Make it happen. All right, Papa Swolio for middle deltoid. When doing lateral cable raises, does it matter if you're not internally rotating your wrist? Wondering how dramatically I need to pour the cup to hit medial. It's the middle deltoid and the wrist doesn't matter because the wrist has nothing to do with the shoulder. It's your humerus. So doing this, like if I have my arm like this, it doesn't do anything. It's not. So you're talking about rotation of the humerus, not the wrist. So the wrist is irrelevant. So just keep that in mind. So hopefully that answers your question. So your hand doesn't matter. it's your humerus, it's your shoulder essentially to your elbow. So that's what is being referred to. And there's different ways to do it. I mean, if you're doing an overhead press, you'll see this. I'm externally rotated. If you do a shoulder press, you're hitting the middle deltoid. So you don't actually have to do that crazy internal rotation. A lot of people have issues with their shoulder and it exacerbates it. So you don't need excessive internal rotation. When you're doing the medial or the medial, I'm going to say it now, the middle deltoid, you don't need to be going like, you're only going to be able to go like 90 degrees. You don't need to go over your head. You'll see some people going all the way up. Like, you don't need to. It works other muscles. It works your lower trap and it hits other things. You'll still hit the middle deltoid, but you'll hit the middle deltoid with an overhead press too. So if you go, for a wide for an overhead press, you're going down, you'll get the middle deltoid also. So if you're doing any kind of lateral raise or you're doing an upright row, which are fantastic if you do them properly. And what did I say? Lateral raise, upright row, overhead press. Those are great for the middle deltoid. And there's really no wrong movement. It's not a myth. It's just the pouring the cup is just a cue. So it's not a myth, but the pouring of the cup is not what does it. The pouring of the cup is what will lead people to be like, oh, I have to pour the cup out. And they internally rotate and they don't like open up their arms like crazy. So it's just a cue. It's just something that you tell someone that doesn't know what they're doing. They don't know where the middle deltoid is. They're like, oh, like you're pouring out jugs of water. It's just an easy thing to communicate to people. And really, when you're hitting the middle deltoid, leaning on a high incline and bring your arms a little bit more to the front is awesome for the middle deltoid too. So change the angle, see where you feel it the most. But I would, in your programming, whether you do them both in the same workout, I would just use for shoulders. If you're trying to hit the anterior deltoid and the middle deltoid, pick some sort of an upright row and a lateral raise with a cable or with a dumbbell or whatever, and then also do an overhead press and you're set for shoulders. You're set for if you do posterior deltoid, you do T-bar rows or upper back rows or posterior deltoid. It's not complicated, and just get really strong with those. You'll never see someone that can overhead press like 200-300 pounds with small shoulders. So mass moves mass. Pick something basic, pick something that feels good, pick something you can progressively overload, and then get strong as fuck doing it. All right. Let's take this first question on...
What's in the box?
I think it's from Facebook. This one's from Scott Kelly. Is dedicated beef liver worth taking? I'm assuming you mean desiccated. It's like, this beef liver is really dedicated. You want to find dedicated beef liver. You want to find beef liver that's not taking rest days. You want to find beef liver that's committing. You don't want inconsistent beef liver. You want dedicated. You want disciplined liver. I'm assuming it's a typo and you want desiccated. Is it worth taking if it's high quality? I would recommend grass-fed and finished raw beef liver. I enjoy it. But, recommending people to eat raw liver, most people are like, ew. But you don't have to have it all the time. You don't have to be pounding liver. You can definitely have too much and overdo the liver. But grass-fed and finished beef liver is fantastic. So it's definitely worth eating. How you want to consume it, that's up to you. But different supplements will be of different quality. So find one that's good. Anytime there's ultra processing, you might have other things in it or what they add or what the capsule's made of if you have any issues. But start on the lower end of whatever they recommend and then increase the amount of pills or the amount of liver you have and then see how it goes. Dedicated liver. I like that. I want dedicated liver. I don't want liver that's like taking days off and slacking. I don't want slacking liver. I don't want liver that's, handing in their book reports at the end of the day and they're stretching it out. They're doing, 16 font. They're justifying the print, wide margins. You don't want undisciplined or cheating liver. You want disciplined liver. You want dedicated liver. I'm just going to call it dedicated liver now. John, I found a straight bar front cable raise hits all three heads of your shoulders. Says who? How does that hit your posterior deltoid? Posterior deltoid does external rotation and extension. So if you're not doing those, do you mean face pulls? Okay. Luke F. Bell, I'm a beginner in the gym. What is the best thing to focus on? Jeez. I mean, where do you begin? Download the 7 pillars. Get on a good strength training program. Understand that nutrition and food is the building block of your life and will affect everything in your life. I don't even know where to begin. Should I just go back to episode 1? What's the best thing to focus on? There is no best thing. You got to do it all, right? And if you're not doing it all, then you're going to have the results that are the result of not doing it all. So there really is no best thing to focus on. There's no best thing. You need to follow the 7 pillars and work on those every day. It's like saying, focus on nutrition. Well, what about training? What about mobility? What about mindfulness? What about community? What about these other things? A lot of times people have a strength training program or a nutrition program or a protocol, and they don't have all the other things and they fall off and they're not consistent. So what good is a program if you're not doing it? If it's a bad program, then you can't stick to it properly and it's not going to give you the results and you're going to be inconsistent with it. So there's a lot of things to focus on. And that's the issue. People will say one thing, you focus on that, and then you could be doing that wrong. You're going to be doing things wrong oftentimes when you try these different things. So there's a lot of trial and error. And the reason why the Swole Fam and Swolenormous X is so effective is because we sift through that bullshit and we help you focus on those fundamentals. Because everyone's house is going to be a little bit different, but you need a strong foundation. And most people don't have that foundation. They focus on a new diet plan or they focus on a training protocol, and then they just hop from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And that's because it's not working. Peter. Going back actually to, what was it what John said? Like the overhead raise. When you're doing a face pull, it works your posterior deltoid a little bit too because of the external rotation. So if you're coming up like this, if you're doing like that, it's working your posterior deltoid because of the external rotation. You're getting a little bit of extension from like here to here, but it's more like horizontal abduction. So the posterior deltoid is going to do horizontal abduction, moving away from the body. It's going to do some shoulder extension and it's going to do external rotation. So it really just comes down to what the movements are, and that muscle will do those movements and will participate depending on, the weight and the cable and the strength profile and all that. And also where your weak points are. If you have certain areas that are weak, you might feel it there a little bit more just because like, whoa, I haven't felt it there before. So objectively, a muscle is going to do A, B, and C, whatever its actions are. And don't forget, when you have muscles, there's isolated actions like, hey, if there was nothing else attached to it but this muscle, this is what that muscle does. But then you have 30 other muscles involved when you're doing a movement, and some are going to take over at certain points. And some of them are going to, when you have an integrated function, certain bones might have to lock in position, and then the muscle that you're trying to hit might work a little differently with an integrated function. So it's isolation and then integration. And sometimes they work differently. So that's why isolation exercises are also important, because if you're doing some sort of compound movement, you're going to have larger and stronger motor units and muscle groups that are going to take over for a lot of those, for those exercises. Then you're not going to be targeting some of those smaller body parts that a lot of times people want to bring up. But they will be working. Nancy, what's your favorite exercise to isolate your upper abs? Can't. Particularly when you're intermittent fasting. Oh, that's a joke. You got me. I know you're trolling. I didn't think you were trolling until you said intermittent fasting. Good one. Good one. All right.
Emotional, damn it.
All right. Sometimes you get one past the goalie, right? Sometimes you have an own goal. Nice. I think I can ban people from the Telegram chat. Let me see. Nancy. Can I report? Let me see. How do I ban? Hold on. Let me click. Click block user. There we go. Block Nancy. Good. All right. I'm just kidding. Good one. Peter, I trained like a man. A man? Maybe a madman? Everyone's typing these things on their phones, so I'm always trying to like decipher. Like, what was this person trying to say? Because the iPhone autocorrect is garbage now. Ever since their most recent updates, brutal. You can't type anything without getting fucking errors. It's horrible. Steve Jobs would be fucking fuming. He would have burned Apple to the ground with what they're putting out now. They wouldn't have done it. All right. Anyway, Peter, I trained like a madman during my late 20s and 30s, got big, got strong, but always kept it natural. Still do. Then kind of hit a wall when it comes to max lifts, endurance, recovery. No punctuation, by the way, so I'm doing my best. For a year or so, kind of just accepted it. Then the COVID hit, ended up not training for much longer than I intended, 3 years, and my diet went to trash pandas. How do you stop training for 3 years? Seriously, how do you? I don't understand it. I don't get that. I don't get it. I don't get how you can be someone that trains like crazy in your 20s and 30s, big, strong, like you're training hard and and then you stop for 3 years. I don't understand. That doesn't compute. The longest I've ever taken off, and it was on purpose, was like 2 weeks. And I don't do that anymore because I think it's garbage. I just think your programming sucks if you have to take like weeks off. Or you're doing competitions and you just beat the shit up out of yourself. So you need that kind of recovery, but that's a different kind of intensity and dieting and extreme behavior for a desired outcome. But anyway, I'm now in my 40s. I'm not training as much time-wise or days as I did in my 30s. Why not? But since I've started doing more weight this past year, I keep on smashing my PRs. And I don't kind of get how. With my age and how beat up my body is, any ideas? What is going on with this post? So you trained a lot, took years off, and now you're in your 40s. You're not training as much, and you keep on smashing your personal best. Well, I guarantee you're not lifting as much as you were in your 30s. Like, you mean your weights are going up? Are you literally lifting more than you were in your 30s? That kind of doesn't make sense if you took time off like that. But if you're consistent more now and you're eating better, by the way, let's just cut a couple things here. You're not training as often. You're probably overtraining, right? You're beating the shit up out of yourself. And so a lot of times people don't understand how, I don't want to say how little you need, but most people don't understand what it takes to build muscle, and it just needs progressive overload. So you don't need a ton of volume. And when I say a ton of volume, you need enough volume, but there's that difference, right? 2 sets could be great. Right? 1 set is good. Here's my opinion generally on sets and volume when it comes to not per body part. Let's just do per body part, like chest in a chest day. If you're doing every body part twice a week, 1 set's great. 2 sets is better than 1. 3 sets, I would say probably better than 2, but marginally so. 3 sets is less better than 2 is than 1. And then 4, even less better than 3. And then 5, and then you just get like, okay, you're just doing more. So the more you do, the less stimulus you're getting. It doesn't mean you're not getting more. You might be getting more and squeaking some more out, but you're also adding fatigue that's going to negatively affect other lifts in that same workout. And also when you can train that body part again, and then the workout the next day or the day after that you're negatively affecting your ability to recover overall your central nervous system. So as you get older, it's much more important, especially as you start lifting heavier loads. You don't need and can't do the same kind of volume. You can't be going to the gym and doing 20, 30 sets for a body part. You shouldn't really do that anyway. You can survive that when you're younger, but it's still too much. It's unnecessary. So a lot of you would agree that when you started, for example, in Swole Enormous X doing the Maximum Swole program, you never realized, 1, that you weren't training as hard as you thought you were, and how much you get when you focus on the quality of the reps and your strength and your recovery. When you focus on that, you actually make more progress, and you don't have to be doing 6 days a week in the gym. You shouldn't be. You're not recovering. So, you say, I keep on smashing personal best, starting from where? I don't know if you mean that you were doing more than when you were 30 or in your 30s, or you're just increasing, because if you haven't trained for a while, you're going to get those neurological adaptations. You'll increase strength faster, but the muscle doesn't start building for a while. So you're going to get those coordination benefits. When you start a new exercise, you'll see that strength going up more rapidly in the first few weeks, and then it plateaus off, and then it might take a month or 2 to get that next rep or that next little bit of weight. You're not going to be going up in weight every single session. It might take 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions before you break through that plateau. And it's not really a plateau. It just takes time for your body to adapt, especially when it's been years and years and months and months and months of doing the same exercise. And the stress isn't new. It's not novel. You're just scratching and clawing for extra weight and extra reps. So a little bit opaque with your comment. So, I don't know the context, but you don't just take 3 years off and like, wow, I'm lifting heavier than I ever was before. It doesn't really make sense, but it does make sense if you took a long time off and then your strength is improving quickly as you've gotten back into it. Yeah, that makes sense. But then it's going to peter off, and then you're going to have to build muscle like everyone else, progressive overload. Anyone, if you guys saw anything else in that statement that I maybe missed, just some context, because it's kind of vague, because it doesn't happen like that. You don't just, I took a lot of time off and I came back and now I'm just crushing PRs from where you're starting now, not from when you're in your 20s and 30s. Just my perception of it. All right. Angie, NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine, or what's ISSA? I forget the International Sports something. I forget what it stands for. If you were starting today, which route would you go? I don't know. I have a history with NASM, but that was like, what year is it? I don't know. 15 years ago. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. On your place. So which route would I go? I don't know what NASM really or ISSA is doing these days. What I will say is most of these, the problem, not that they're scams, but you're required to have certain ones to work at a gym, to get personal training insurance as a business. It shows a minimum level of competency. It does not make you a good trainer. Just putting that out there. And most of these certifications, they're built around you getting continuing education credits. So that's where I really just fucking started hating this shit, because you don't learn anything new from these continuing education. It's just more money you got to put back in to get recertified. I mean, I get it. It's trying to get you into like a subscription. You want to go to a national conference, or you take this quiz, or you watch these videos and you get 0.1 credits. It's busy work. It's not really educational, in my opinion. From what I've seen, NASM has kind of shotgun blasted, kind of like CrossFit. They just put out tons of these different certifications, like social media expert. I saw this. I was laughing with a friend of mine the other day, or like a few weeks ago, about this. It was like body conditioning expert and like social media managing expert. It's like, we get a certification for that? What the fuck is this? So it just seems like everyone's trying to get the last dollar bill. And bottom line, there are great trainers out there that I've known that had like some bullshit online. This is like years ago, but there were good trainers that I used to work with that had some BS online certification that you pay $50 and you get a certification. And they're great trainers. And I knew other people that had all these degrees and all these top certifications, and it was just too granular, too nitty gritty. And, you know, people have this ego about like, I have all this knowledge and I have all these degrees, and they get super technical on this. It's not that complicated. So people overcomplicate it. And then a lot of times people have all these certifications. They don't even look like they lift. So for me, in my opinion, what you need to understand for a business standpoint is that when you're getting a certification, you're starting a business. It's a business. You have to understand business and marketing, and you have to look the part. If you're a trainer, you look the fucking part. Don't be a fat trainer. Don't be a frail trainer. Look the part. All right. You got to practice what you preach and preach what you practice. So it's really important, depending on the context of how you're training. If you're training at a gym, you're doing private clients, you're opening a studio, you're trying to do stuff online. There's a lot of different things out there. So I can't really tell you at this point, because I don't know. I don't want to say NASM because I, did work with them and stuff 15, 20 years ago. I don't want to just say NASM as if it's still the same thing as it was. I don't know what they're putting out these days. But I would say it probably doesn't matter that much, because really what people do is you go to a gym and you want to get hired, where they're going to say, hey, we accept these certifications. So you want one of those. It's going to be one of the big 3, 4, or 5, whatever's out there now. There might be new ones. So they'll accept NASM, they'll accept ISSA, they'll accept NSCA if they still do stuff, and all these other things. All right. So just keep that in mind, that these certification companies are businesses, and they want your money, they want you to pass, and they want you to keep on paying for continuing education. That way, they keep on getting money from you. But the problem with those continuing education credits that would piss me off is because it never was anything educational. It was just, I have to pay for this to take this quiz, and then I have to submit it. And that's, I have some stories about that when I realized it was all a big grift and I just let everything expire. That's a long time ago, but I've been down that road. And I would have to say most likely it doesn't matter. As long as you self-educate, you know what you're doing, and you're personable, and you know how to run a business, because you're a business of one, or you're working kind of independently within a larger business like a gym. So, I have a degree in exercise science, and I've had all these NSCA, CSCS. I've held all these for years and years and years. And I learned more just applying this and obsessing over fitness and doing it myself. I've learned much more. You know, I did what I had to do to work and do certain things or get a certain job or have a certain insurance or whatever. I've done all that stuff, but you learn by obsessing over your craft and understand and really like wanting to learn because you want to. I learned much more, like my degree and the certifications. Yeah, some of that stuff opened the door for me for certain things, but then it was all self-application and then taking the information and running with it and applying it. But if you're gonna be a personal trainer, there's a lot more to be successful as a personal trainer than just a certification. What I will say, especially when I was banging, I had, you know, I was proud of it. Degree, top certifications. Like at the time, the certified strength and conditioning specialist was really hard to get. It was like a 40% pass rate. It was brutal. You didn't have these like online things. You had to go to a certain center, sit down in a classroom with books. They would show a video to like 20 people. It was like a 35 or 40% pass rate at the time. You needed a degree to even take the exam. And it was really, you know, top of the line at the time. Maybe it still is. And no one ever asks you. The only times I was ever asked about my certifications was 2 different positions, like the head personal trainer or the manager when you're going to a gym for a job. A lot of gyms wouldn't hire me because I had all these degrees and stuff and I was in great shape, but I didn't have any experience working. It's like, yeah, I'm fresh out of college. Why would I have fucking experience working? You know, unless you have a job and do training. Like I did stuff in the college, but it's like, well, how do you get experience if you don't have experience? It was like bullshit. I did all this stuff and I'm out here and everyone's like, whoa, we're looking for someone with more experience. Stupid gym owners. You take someone that's kind of fresh out and you mold them how you like, that's the best person to hire, not someone who has like 30 years experience and does things their own way and put their head in the sand and is not going to listen to your authority and what you want out of your gym. So anyway, there's a lot of dumb shit out there. So what I always say is information is objectively, it's true or it's not. And having a certification doesn't mean you know how to deliver that information. It doesn't mean that you know how to help a client. It doesn't mean you know how to cue a client. I'm not sure if they have hands-on application components of these certifications, right? Like you have to demonstrate or display competency. Maybe that's just at the job that you're going to. Just some thoughts. So, you know, as long as the gym accepts it, it really doesn't matter. Sometimes people have all of these, but don't be a certification whore. You know, I really encourage people to not get like 10 certifications because I see people with profiles and they just have like 9 different certifications listed. It's like, you know, that's usually compensating for like, hey, look, I know what I'm talking about. Look, I'm a this. Are you? I'm a functional training special. Like, okay. Like you look like you don't even lift. So maybe you should spend more time training and doing the thing than, I don't know, passing tests. A lot of people pass tests. Some people are good at taking tests, so you can pass them. Some people get certifications for free because it's paid for by the military or it's paid, you know, it covers it. So they just get tons of certifications. Doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. So just some additional thoughts on that. Whatever your gym requires, if you're going to a gym and let's say you want to work at a Crunch Fitness and they're like, oh, we accept NASM, ISSA, and blah. They don't care. That's what they're saying. They don't care. Now, what I will say is if you have some sort of specialty that can help you, maybe if you want to go for a certain niche and you want to do like a kettlebell certification, and then you're the only person at the gym that's like a kettlebell specialist, like, okay, cool. Then maybe you can find a position someplace where they're looking for someone who does a certain type of training and like, hey, you'd fit in great because we don't have anyone that does kettlebells. And I'm just saying. So maybe that can, if you have a specific place in mind and maybe they're looking for a specific thing, maybe that can help you get in the door. It's tough now, especially when you have AI and you have all this information online. You know, people can, it was always like this though. Well, information is out there now. Like, are people going to still want personal trainers? Yes, people are still going to want personal trainers, but the information has always been out there. It's just easier to find, but there's also more bullshit that you can find. But you could always find this information online. It was books. And before the internet, there were books. You know, people got this information from books and they would go and they would do the thing in the gym and find out and experience it. You kind of want someone that looks like what you have. You know, if you want to be a marathon runner, wouldn't you want, if you have a trainer, wouldn't you want your trainer to run marathons? Like if I wanted to run marathons, I would probably want to hire a coach or a trainer that's run, like I've run 50 marathons and triathlons. I've done ultras and the Ironman. Like I would want someone that fucking knows how to train for that specifically because they have experience and they have insights that you can't just read about online with nutrition or with programming or deloading and carb loading and stuff like that. And one of the other problems with training is with all the gimmicks and all the fucking tools and toys and stuff you have now, a lot of trainers, you're trying to get people to come back. So the issue with personal training in many cases is that actually building muscle is boring. It's the same thing over and over again, copy, paste, repeat, copy, paste, repeat. And most clients, when they're paying 60 or 90 or $100+ an hour, you want to stimulate them because you feel like, oh, if it's something they could do themselves, which they can, they're not, it doesn't make me valuable. So you see a lot of things like they're pushing and they're pulling and they're adding manual resistance with their hands and they're doing all these balance and weird fucking things. And a lot of it's just gimmicks in order to make it seem like, wow, my trainer's giving me all this crazy stuff. Whereas if you look at the people that actually have the results that you want, they're not doing any of that shit. They're not doing like TRX. I'm not saying it's a bad tool, or the Bosu ball. And they're doing all this like, bouncing and jumping and unstable with the ball and they're slamming it. No, they're going over there in the fucking corner, jacked, ripped, lifting heavy weights, But just saying, most people don't want to lift weights. Most people don't want to train hard. They just want to feel like they are. And they feel like, I'm not going to go unless I pay. And they want to have a good time, right? They want to be like at a movie or I'm at a park and like, oh, it was so much fun. My trainer's so funny. He's great. Like that's what keeps clients. It's like your personality and you get along with your clients. Most clients don't stick around enough to get results, unfortunately. So that's a hard part in itself. But that's where a lot of trainers drift towards. They drift towards the gimmicks because it's stimulating and it seems like you're doing a lot of crazy stuff and it feels really hard in the moment because it is hard. You're doing fucking Cirque du Soleil shit. But that's not what's going to get you what most people want. Just some insights on it. I'm not saying across the board, but many. Mike says, seems like some trainers online put out some of the stupidest stuff. I feel like I know more than them just by having some common sense. Woody Wood Racing, I've been following you for a while and finally paid for your app. Well, welcome to the fam. I was killing myself 6 days a week. Now with the proper programming, I'm looking better and feeling better. Oh, good for you. Good for you. This kind of goes right back to what we were saying with how many days a week or, just program design in general. Killing yourself feels good in the moment. You're exhausted, you're wiped out. But that doesn't get you results. What gets you results is the stimulus and then recovering quickly. And recovering quickly, you can't recover quicker, but it's like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days until your next session, and then doing it again. So that's the whole point. Stimulus, recover. Stimulus, recover. And if you're doing stimulus and crush once a week, okay, how about stimulus, recover, stimulus twice a week? You're getting twice the stimulus, essentially. You're getting the stimulus and then the recovery and the compensation, then you're getting the stimulus again. Wouldn't it be better to stimulate twice a week than once? That's what she said.
Because.
So it's programming. And usually about, I would say 3 to 5 times a week for someone who's natural, depending on your split, is probably about it. 4 times is pretty sweet spot. Cerny says it's only boring if you don't know what you're doing, but it's also about communicating that properly. If you're a bodybuilder and you have a bodybuilding coach, you know what the deal is, right? You know what the deal is. You know that you're going to be doing the same thing. You know there's a strategy because of the outcome, but you're also not going to stick with the coach or stick with a plan that doesn't get you good results. Like sometimes you don't work well, or sometimes someone's strategy doesn't work as well. So it really depends. But a lot of times trainers will try to create that kind of like excitement rather than do the work that's more boring but effective. Yeah, that's why CrossFit became popular. People like to punish themselves and brag about it. Yeah, it's exactly that kind of thing. It's that stimulus where it's always random, right? It's like scrolling. Think about it. You're scrolling. When you showed up, I mean, I'm not saying all CrossFits, but or I don't know what it's like now because they've been sold and bankrupt and back, and I don't know what the hell it is now. But that's how I got popular, because going to CrossFit was like scrolling. You were scrolling, and then it's like, oh, you show up and it's like, oh, we're doing this. You look at the board and you're like, what the fuck is that? And you leave bleeding and fucking in pain and then wiped out. You feel like you went to battle because you did. but there's nothing to progressively overload from. You're just beating the shit up out of yourself, feeling exhausted. But in my opinion, it's a way to justify like $200, $300 a month for just a fucking garage with like a couple free weights. And it's like, okay, just beat the shit up out of yourself. And it's not necessarily progressive overload. That's why a lot of people got hurt, because it was just random exercise and combining modalities that don't go with an actual training program. And that's not to say all, but many. And that's what happened when it grew really fast. Quality gave way to quantity. That's for sure. Definitely kept orthopedists and physical therapists in business. Nicholas says they have a glute specialist certification. Which one does? I got my cert through ISSA, but I've learned so much through other means. Yeah, so I mean, it's just a starting point. But a lot of times people just get a bunch of certifications and lean on that as if they update themselves. And the continuing education, it's too slow. It's not cutting edge, and it doesn't give you that practical experience. Nicholas says that you have to set yourself apart. I noticed people who are able to cue people properly and not just count reps were a lot better trainers. But that goes back to, I think, what Sterling asked. Like, hey, when you're pouring out water, those are cues. It's understanding how to explain. It's understanding how to explain. That's what a cue is. It's understanding how to get someone to do what you want. So you're cueing like, hey, imagine your hips as a bucket. You're trying to pour water out the back of the bucket. It's like, okay, then you tuck your stomach in. There you go. Cueing is just giving people the reference points so they can actually do what you want them to do. Diego Armando. Best whey protein in the market. By the way, thank you. You always motivate me to go to Al Puto Gimnasio. That's very good. That's very good.
Wait, your biggest stickers? Here's of this.
The best whey protein in the market, some sort of grass-fed and grass-finished whey without fillers, soy, and sunflower lecithin. They're hard to come by, but they're great. I like Nature Force. I have it in the Amazon store. There's nothing else added to it. So when I have that, I feel great. But I wouldn't say there's a best on the market. But some people like beef protein isolate, different things. It's really about the stabilizers, the fillers, and the processing, and how you digest it and how you feel on it. Just fucking hairs everywhere. Just find hair. There's so much hair in this house. It's me. It's Mama Swole. It's the mustard man. He sheds. Crazy. Say about Great Pyrenees, they only shed twice a year, 6 months in the spring and 6 months in the fall. He sure does. It's shedding season. And then we have, of course, Swole for life. Swole for life. Oh, we're gonna get some bellies. Can I get a leg? Yep, I think we can. I think we can do it. Hold on a second. Let me get a leg going. There we go. There we go. Wait, right there. Got it. Send it. I'm burning out. All right. Very nice. Let's move on. Hey, Joey. Let's see. Love catching up the live. I got to go and get these weights done. Bye, fam. I'll catch the rest of the episode later. Indeed. Do I call him Mr. Mustard because of his color? Of course. That's the mustard man. And plus, you get to smack him like you're smacking a mustard container. Good boy. He loves it. He loves a good smack. Okie dokie. What else we got? If we have any other live questions, we'll take them. Let's keep going. I hope he farts. He might. He might. Pinkston's looking at me like, what about more scratchies? You get some belly rubs? All right, we'll do belly rubs instead. All right. Look at those. Look at the pink and white bellies. Look at those bellies. She loves here, right there. Probably get a leg going from the front. No? Look at those little feetsies. Look at those little feet. Look at those toe beans. Look at that. Look at that little thing. Look at that. I don't think I could just talk. We just leave her on the screen, right? Just leave her on the screen. You guys don't need any visuals. Just watch her the whole show. They're so tiny. She gets such tiny feetses. All right. Cool. Let's get into some balls deep. We do have announcements, right? We got the winners. Not the people.
That's deep.
We haven't gone through all the different, most of them. But it's not who chose the winner. It's also, it's also how many overall that you got in the entire bracket. So we'll get into that. But we have other things first. What do we got here? Do we have videos? We do have videos. Let's do a short one first, and then we'll get into some new releases. All right, we're balls deep. Let's get into, this one's called Internalized. It's going to be Internalized Fat Phobia. It's only 19 seconds, and then we'll get into some recipes and featured classes and yoga and stuff.
I didn't realize how much internalized fat phobia I had until I started transitioning.
That's a lot to unpack here. We're talking transitioning and fatness. That caught me off guard. All right, let's do it again. Go.
I didn't realize how much internalized fat phobia I had until I started transitioning. I never thought about the size of my body when I used to present as a man. Tell me why, only after a couple short years of transitioning, the idea of shrinking my body consumes me every day. So I'm very aware that this gives the vibes of like, man wakes up to what women have been saying for years.
It's called mental illness. It's called mental illness. Man. That's what it's called. You're LARPing as a woman. You're pretending to have you're pretending to be obsessed with my body size because you're pretending. If you're an actor or an actress and you have a role, you pretend. So you're pretending to be a woman. So you're pretending to have the same concerns as a woman would have because you're not. The synapses are missing, right? Your acetylcholine's just fucked off. It's like, we're not hanging out. We're not here. I think it's acetylcholine. I forget my anatomy, but whatever. This person forgets their anatomy too. So what's the difference? Anatomy is just I don't know. It's just a apparition. The banshee, the ghoul of science. It's just anatomy. What the fuck are we talking about? I'm a woman. Sure you are. Sure you are. Right.
Are there any women here today?
If you're a woman, I got a soundboard.
Shut up, bitch!
I mean, you're ugly. Does that help? I mean, you're such a misogynist. I'm not racist. I just don't like you. I'm not a bigot. I just don't like you.
What's in the box?
All right. We have a recipe. Ooh, you like to make your own sashimi? Would you like a sashimi? We have a salmon nigiri. Ooh, Ooh.
No more shenanigans, no more tomfoolery.
A salmon nigiri.
No more ballyhoo.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
A papaswario, a salmon nigiri. Very nice. All right, so you can make your own salmon at home. Okie dokie. Enjoy food poisoning. No, I'm kidding. All right, if you're feeling fancy, you can make it yourself. I don't think I would do that. I don't know. Check it out. Check out that recipe. See if you like it. All right, we got new stuff. Well, not new stuff. We have classics. We have throwbacks. We have featured classes. Featured class. This one is Swole hip rotation. Swole hip rotation. So we have this featured inside the app. We also have the featured Swole 7, which is Sandbag Round 2. Oh, I forgot when we had the Slack line up. There you go, Sandbag Round 2. So if you want to get into some sandbag work, check out the 7-minute sandbag series, Swole 7. All the different sections are all 7-minute classes. You could train along with me. Fun stuff. Get the sandbag out. Sandbag's nice for summer. Get out there in the sun, throw around some fucking sand in a bag. It's good stuff. Maxim Swole biceps and triceps is the featured workout of the week. So all these are already in the app. If you don't know, now you know. But this is all, we feature them on the homepage because we have just thousands of different videos and masterclass and stuff. So we like to feature different ones every week. That way we can put a spotlight on some of the ones that maybe you haven't tried yet. And we try to mix it up. A little workout, a little Swole 7. Little yoga, swolga. Good stuff. Little sandbag and tire. There you go. There you go. A good combination. You really want to do a good outdoor workout. Get your sandbag, get a tire, get a fucking hammer, and just go smash and throw shit. It's fun. It's fun. And if you have kids, they fucking love that shit. What kid doesn't want to give them a little sandbag and just fucking throw it? Give a hammer and just fucking smash it. It's fun. Everyone likes it. Everyone likes it. Oh boy. I didn't know that one. Oh, holy shit. I didn't realize that one won too. Oh goodness. Wow. That's an upset. That's surprising. Not really. It's a great shirt. All right. We got yoga, new merch, and we have the results from Merch Madness. So let's do this one. This one's called Work. And then we have another one that's called GLP-1s. So I'll do that one last because it's probably going to blow our brains apart. But this is called What Do You Do for Work? It's called Work.
What's in the box?
Work at Gorl.
What do I do for work? I don't. I'm professionally disabled.
Professionally.
And his job is
taking care of the profession.
Did you say his?
You went full retard, man.
he gets paid for taking care of me.
Oh, wow.
Instead of doing it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because let's be for real, sometimes taking care of you is a full-time job.
I'm glad it was blurred out. That was I appreciate it.
I have to feed you. I have to make sure you're bathed sometimes.
That's a dude? Is that like a dude like by pronoun dude? Sometimes I can't tell. I don't know what the hell's going on. That's got to be a woman on testosterone or something. But that is like that's a neck beard. So that could be just a super feminized male. I don't know. I don't know. Absolutely cooked. We're not even cooked. We're not even cooked, fam. We're sauteed. We're grilled out.
I have to take you out for enrichment.
You sometimes have to dress me because I won't dress myself.
That's got to be a guy. That's a dude, right? Here's what I think is happening. That's a dude and that's a girl, right? They're swapped. Is that possible? Because this sounds like a dude and that one sounds like a female, but it's got it's a tough one. It's a tough one, right? I think this is like one of those like double swaps, right? That's a dude and the other one's a female, but they're pretending to be the opposite. That's all women. 42 seconds. It's Pat and Chris.
Yeah, you're literally not dressed now.
It sounds like a woman, the other one.
Pathetic.
You have to make sure that I take my socks off because sometimes I forget I'm wearing socks and then I cry about it. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, are you wearing socks? And then I look down and I'm wearing socks and then I say,
I've contained my rage for as long as possible, but I shall unleash my fury upon you like the crashing of 1,000 waves! Begone, vile man! Begone from me! I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
Stop crying.
Yeah, you're helpless. We get it.
And I have to make sure you take your medication.
Yeah.
And
Are there like 3 people? I keep hearing other voices, right? Is that... I don't know what's happening.
And then I stop crying.
Yeah, you're helpless. We get it.
And I have to make sure you take your medication.
Why did someone say, yeah, you're helpless, we get it? Is this like someone else's reaction video, maybe? I feel like someone else is reacting to this. Because I keep hearing a third voice. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I have to clean up after you because you're incapable of doing both physically and mentally. I have to do your laundry because you can't get up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. You want the baby boy's hole, you gotta pay the troll toll. You gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
You want the baby boy's hole. You gotta pay the troll toll. You gotta pay the troll toll. If you want to get into this boy's hole, you gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
But I want my own
All right.
ass. I want my own ass.
Good, right? Isn't that the famous Jocko video? I'm supposed to say good, right? It's hard. Isn't that the famous one? Good. Yeah, you watch a video of people that don't even know what fucking gender they are. Good. I feel like Jocko, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm trying to. Good. Yeah. Like, no, it's not. It's not good. You're supposed to say it's good. And no matter what it is, it's good. It's no. I think this just proved it wrong. So yeah, it's not. No, I tried it. It's not. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Don't work. All right.
What's in the box?
We got new yoga inside the app. Morning Flow with Foam Roller Express with Alex.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Fuck yeah! Boom shakalaka!
Yay. Morning Flow with Foam Roller Express class. There you go. How many of you still use a foam roller? How many of you use a foam roller? Great tool. Good for different exercises too. Sometimes you need a little bit more range of motion. You can use a foam roller on a hack squat, on a leg press. You could use on the floor if you're trying to really open up your scapula and your shoulders. On a bench, there's half foam rollers. You could use them for all sorts of things. So check this out. If you got a foam roller, if you don't have one, you can get one. Amazon, Target, Walmart, probably, cheap. You can get a small one, a bigger one. But the yoga blocks, like I always say, if you really want to get the most out of Swolenormous X in the yoga studio, I recommend. They're cheap. You can get like $15 or something like that on Amazon. You get 2 blocks. You get one of those canvas straps. You get a tennis ball, walk by a tennis court. There's usually a tennis ball lying around, pick one up or buy a couple, throw a couple to your dogs and keep one for foam rolling. So you can use a lot of the tools. We have a lot of different things inside the yoga studio that have props, and you could always use something else. A foam roller is very specific, but for blocks, you could use books or a pillow if you don't have one, but they're inexpensive and it's a really great tool. And like I always say, it's not something that regresses just because you're using a foam roller or a block or a strap when it comes to a yoga class. It doesn't mean, you're making it easier. It's not going to be challenging. It doesn't make it easier. It makes it better because it brings the floor to you. It allows you to put your body in different positions that you wouldn't be able to get into without, and you'll get more out of the class. And that's why we have certain prop classes, because it's specific to those tools that you can't get with just the floor. So yeah, there you go. Pam says Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Exactly. That slipped my mind. So thank you. Yeah. Any of those, I'm sure there's a lot of other ones out there. I'm sure there's tons of other, overflow or overstock stores that have a little fitness section where they have a couple bands and they have some water bottles and, some ankle weights. And it's like, okay, whatever. But a lot of times they have yoga blocks and all that kind of stuff too. Best Buy, I think last time I was in Best Buy, I saw a foam roller. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah. Amazon has a kit with all of them in it. I might even have that in the Amazon store. But anyway, if I don't, I'll add it. But I'm pretty sure I added that a long time ago. I need to update the whole Amazon store. I've been mentioning that for a while, so I'll get on that. All right, we got Merch Madness. We do have merch, and we got Merch Madness. We got the results. We're not announcing any winners today, but some of you that chose correctly, you'll know, and then we'll announce, the people who got the most right. Because it's not just about picking the one that won. It's about how many you got correct overall in your bracket. So we'll go through that and we'll let you guys know later this week. But we got new merch. So we'll do one more video in a second and then we'll do the new merch, right? You guys want merch? Who wants merch?
What's in the box?
Who wants merch? GLP ones. Oh boy. Here we go.
My family isn't rich, but they have enough to help me out with my bills and rent while I find a new job. But they've said they will only help me out financially if I go on Ozempic or join Weight Watchers. This is why.
Pause. So this is a podcast. I guess someone's asking a question.
Fat people.
You know what? I'm. If you're going to post a clip of your podcast, post the audio. from the microphone, right? You hear this?
Or join weight.
Or get your audio levels figured out. Like whenever it's quiet, it's like it's recorded from the phone. Like you're speaking into a microphone. Why does it sound like shit? Just a thought. This frustrates me. I don't do everything perfectly myself, but I mean, I use the audio from or fix it because it's awful. So this person's family, we're only going to help you if you go on Ozempic or Weight Watchers is garbage. I didn't even know they still existed, so ditch that. But yeah, that's a tough one. So gross. They want you to take that shit.
Watchers. This is why some fat people got really triggered when GLP-1s and Ozempic hit the market. It's not because fat people are obsessed with like, oh, people shouldn't lose weight. It's because
yes, they are. But even before you continue, yes, it is. Because fat people have been allowed to ridicule everyone else. It's compelled speech, this whole fat phobia, body positive, fat acceptance, fat liberation, because the fat was being kept imprisoned underground for centuries. Yes. Fat people are resentful because you're lied to again. You fucking got duped again, the whole body positivity. And guess what? And then they come out with Ozempic. We got you fat. You thought fat was good. We fucking lied to you. Take our pills. And everyone's like, oh, okay, I will. They're retarded. So yeah, the grift continues. They lied to you. They promoted fat and obesity. And then all of a sudden they're like, all right, now we got this pill that you can take to not be fat anymore. Oh, it's not cool anymore. Shit, I'm going to lose my following. So yeah, fat people are upset because now fat is not powerful anymore in the media. So they suckered you idiots again.
Before, when people would push weight loss on us, we could hypothetically say like, well, actually most attempts at weight loss result in weight cycling,
I'm so tired of this shit. Because we would have said most attempts at weight loss lead to weight cycling. No, doing stupid shit will lead to rebounds because it's stupid shit. You starve yourself for a week and then eat again. Well, I lost 20 pounds and I gained it back. No shit. Oh, weight cycling? You mean when you do something extreme that isn't maintainable and then you go back to your old habits? You mean you change a little bit and then you go back? Is that called weight cycling, or is it called I didn't do it right and I have no good habits and I fucked up and I did something stupid and I went back to my old habits? Shocker. You do the same thing, it's going to be the same thing. I went on the lemonade and maple syrup diet and I lost 30 pounds, but then when I ate a croissant again, I gained it back. You think? Whatever. Okay.
Results in worse health or higher weight gain over time. Like those are all researched things that we could say. And maybe if you didn't know that, those things are true. Mm-hmm.
And you gain more weight over time. Yeah, because bad habits compound. And when you have bad habits in your 20s, it's easier to reverse bad habits in your 20s than it is in your 50s. You have those bad habits in your 50s. Guess what? Those bad habits have been compounding for 40 years, just like interest. So you've had compounding bad habits, right? Your health in your 40s is the result of your health in your 40s. This is a general concept, right? Your health in your 40s, it's legit. Your health in your 40s is a result of your actions in your 30s, and vice versa, and likewise your 20s. So if you're morbidly obese and you're fucked up at 31, it didn't happen last week. It happened because in your 20s you were trashing yourself. You're not just unhealthy in your 40s and like, oh, I was great in my 30s. Like your health, if you're in bad shape in your 40s, is because your 30s you were fucking up. And I'm not saying for an individual, like I got into a car accident, I was immobilized. I'm not talking about tragedies and things that were out of your control. Like, just keep up with me here. Just trying to clarify, because everyone has their own different, shit that they deal with. But, yeah, it's like, oh, they're going to gain more weight in the long run. Yeah, because they had the same bad habits for 10, 20, 30 more years. What do you think is going to happen? The last thing these people need is therapy. They need to go to the fucking gym, stop navel gazing and focusing on their problems and change their fucking habits.
Say, and maybe if you didn't know that, those things are true, and we could say that. But now that there's a quote unquote cure for the disease of obesity,
the cure is good habits. There's no cure for it. As if obesity is just something that you have. Like, oh man, I got bit by a mosquito and it gave me the obesity. Yeah, that's not how it works. I have obesity. You have shit fucking habits. You have too much cake.
I don't think a body size is a disease. Come for me.
A body size is disease. This is like the craziest thing. Obesity is a disease. Obesity is the result of terrible fucking habits. It's not a disease. Obesity is a generalized term. It's a generalized term. And it's abused. And it's like, oh, the O word. That's not a fucking slur. Shut up. It's a medical term because you're wider than you are tall. You're not supposed to be a sphere. Okay? If you're backlit, you know, you're walking through a room, you know, everything else is lit and you're just a shadow, you shouldn't look like a ball. You know, you should be able to fit through a doorway.
I don't care. You know, now that there's a cure for like a demographic, which is disgusting, like now fat people are forced to ask the question, like, what does it mean for me as a fat person?
Fat is not an identifier. That's not your identity. That's not something you strive to achieve. It's a fucking result of your habits. Fat people are now have to be like, what does that mean to me as a fat person? Because now there's a cure and I could choose to not be fat. Oh, it's not that simple. What do you call this? This is one of those really evil, like, trade-offs. How are fat people supposed to process the fact that there's a cure? It's not a cure. As if there's no, isn't this crazy? As if there's no fucking trade-offs to taking these things. It's all good. It's just going to disappear. Man, how many of you think, but how many of you are like anticipating just, and this is what I was saying before, it's the perfect cover because everyone, just like the mRNA quote vaccines and all the gene therapy and all the garbage and the boosters and all that scam, all that shit combined with this, and you see cancers through the fucking roof, people just dropping dead. Like, who knows what the fuck is going on? You have rapid weight loss. There's all sorts of shit that goes on with the body. You have so many confounding variables. What the fuck? That's only going to increase. I think the next 10 to 20 years is going to be, it's literally, you're talking about a genocide. There's going to be it's going to continue. It's going to accelerate. There's going to be just the most wild shit. Because so many people are taking these things. Oh, but they've been around for a while. Not taken at this mass scale. It's everywhere. It's on every fucking commercial. Every time I ever am anywhere where there's a TV, like you go to I go to the car place to get my, oil change. You go in there and hey, here's my keys and this, and I see the TV and there's a fucking Ozempic ad on. It's every time I see anything, because I don't watch TV, but anytime there's ever a TV on, there's always an ad. It's always an injection. It's always like some fat person who's like, look at me, I'm so happy. I'm running through a field now. It's like, okay. I think it's going to be gnarly. It's already gnarly, but it's just going to get worse. Freaky.
Like, am I going to be treated worse because now people know I can change it? Because now there's this thing. And this listener is a perfect example of being treated worse because she's not taking a GLP-1. And they're like, this solution exists. Why don't you just do it?
This pisses me off. I'm not talking about these two women. I'm talking about this group of people that are very vulnerable, right? This group of people that literally, like the obese people, they're lied to over and over again with these stupid fucking diet scams. They're told to dig this and eat this, and this is low calorie, and this is high protein, Doritos, great. And then this is Atkins, and this is keto, and this is a keto cake. All right, it's keto chips. And then you have this fucking GLP-1, and now it's like, I'm fat. But then everyone's going to be like, well, you're choosing to be fat now. You were already choosing it. You were choosing it based on your actions. And now it's like, people are going to hate me now. It's just the victim mentality. They're told to be victims over and over again. Now there's Ozempic, and now you want to be fat? You could just take this pill, as if that just solves everything. As if you don't just gain it all back if you stop taking this fucking drug that wastes muscle mass and fucks up your body. Well, there's benefits to it. All right, if you're 600 pounds, I'm not telling you not to take it, because what the fuck else are you going to do? You can't even walk and stand. But my God, we are just giving people excuses to be lazier and fucking lazier. And get on a subscription. Because if you can never get off of it, well, hey, that's a subscription. Those are your CEUs for your body. Now you can have continuing fat credits where you can keep the fat off for just a low price of $40 a month. Okay. Too many confounding variables. And after Ozempic, this would be the next thing, and then you can't blame it on Ozempic. It's just gross. So this is going to end poorly, as they all do. As they all do. John says, by the time side effects run blatantly obvious and rampant from Ozempic, it'll be forgotten. A new trendy med will be advertised, and they'll just get away with it. Well, there'll be a med that fixes that problem, right? That will keep them that way, but without the side effects. Like, hey, this fixes the Ozempic. Or if you take Ozempic plus this and plus these peptides, well, that's even better. And people just tons of fucking needles. You know what you need? You need a steak, you need sun, you need weights, and you need sleep. And get off the fucking internet. That's what you need. Where are we going to see? We're going to start seeing those commercials like, have you or a loved one been injured from a GLP-1? Call the offices of Sunder and Schwinkelstein. 1-800-GLP fuck me. Or whatever it is, right? You're going to start seeing those commercials, right? The mesothelioma. Have you been exposed to asbestos? Have you been exposed to some stupid propaganda? Well, we can help. All right. Let's see. We need new merch. Let's do the results of Merch Madness first or new merch? What do you guys think? What you guys think, eh? What you guys think? What you like? Agreed. Medical industry is subscription based. The more they can hook you on, the better. That's it. That's literally it. Is it any surprise that you need to take Ozempic every month or every week or whatever it is? I actually don't know how you take it. But yeah, you need to be on it. And if you're not, no more worky. You need to get back on it. They get you hooked. Just like TRT, I'm just sketched out by that. People ask me, like, are you taking TRT? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't like that kind of subscription, like dependent on that for my health. I don't, once you're on that shit, you keep on taking it. Mr. Ella, hey, on the YouTubes. I see ads on social media for them nonstop. On Instagram, it's constant commercials for them. I don't see them on Instagram. I don't see commercials like on that. I don't know if I don't see it because of maybe what type of account I have. I don't see ads for the Ozempic and stuff. Not that I remember, not that I've noticed. I'll keep an eye out for it, but now I'll see it because I just fucking set it next to my phone. They'll be like, send it. I like that, Riley. Try getting hooked on sick fucking gains and lifting weights. All right, we need Merch Madness first. Merch Madness? Fiending for the results. All right. Actually, you know what? You guys want that? We'll do it last. Should we do it last? We'll do it last. All right, fam. Let's do new merch. New merch. Come on.
Go fuck yourself.
Come on. What do you guys want? I want to see it. I want to see it. I always want to see it. No? Bitch. I'm edging everyone. All right, let's do new merch. Have you guys heard? You guys have heard the term, right? You guys have heard the term looks maxing, right? You see all the young chodes out there hammering their face with mallets, right? You need that strong jaw. You need that powerful jaw. Looks maxing. Because if you have the right facial angles, you have the right facial structures, you have the right ratio, you're going to be more attractive. Everyone's going to bow to you. You are going to be an absolute Chad. Well, I say great. I say do what you must. Do what you must, looks maxers. Yeah, it's niche internet. It's just popular, stupid garbage.
What's in the box?
However, if you want to troll it and you want to really lock in with maybe you got kids or grandkids, fuck looks maxing. What do we got here? Drum roll again. No,
What's
too
in
old?
the box?
Jaws are size. That's right. Fuck looks maxing. Gym maxing, baby. Let's fucking go. That's a great shirt anyway. Forget the looks maxing. Oh, is my masseter big enough? Fuck you. Fuck you and your goddamn jawbone. Go to the fucking gym. Get absolutely jacked. Get so big. You want to get so fucking big, no one even notices your face. You want to get so big, no one even notices you have a head. Like, oh my God, does that person have a face? I didn't even notice. Do you see his jaw? No, I was looking at his calves. No one fucking cares. Oh, look at my jaw. Pfft. Gym maxing. Go to the fucking gym. So, legit. Epic. It's awesome. Gym maxing. So if you got kids or you got grandkids or nieces and nephews that are like, I don't know, 13 to 25, they'll get a kick out of it. I don't know what the age range is. Something like that. People are going to love it. It's trending and we jumping on that shit. So gym maxing, much better than looks maxing. Go to the fucking gym, make gains.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
All right. Nice. Nice. All right, fam. Let's do it. We do have a throwback, but before we do, let's get into merch madness, fam. Is you ready? All right. Last we talked, we had the final four. We had Go to the Fucking Gym versus Back to the Fucking Gym. Mind blowing. And we had Jack Sparrow versus Depth Vader. Shocking. Not really. Shocking. No, you don't spell maxing with two X's, but looks maxing is with two X's. So it's a play on that. That's not how you actually spell it. Shocking upset. Jack Sparrow beat Depth Vader in the final four, and the winner of Merch Madness is go to the just the basic shirt. Go to the fucking gym. So congratulations, anyone that chose correctly. I didn't expect Jack Sparrow to go to the finals. Fucking shocker. I thought Depth Vader. I had Back to the Fucking Gym and Depth Vader. So back to the I love all the work. I'm just saying all the work on, I mean, obviously the other designs are great, but all the designs, and then it's just the basic go to the fucking gym. So but you know, it's awesome. I do appreciate that if anyone, I agree with Riley, if one was to win, I'm glad that one did. Yeah. If it's actually kind of fun and cool that everyone's like, yeah, all those other designs are great, but go to the fucking gym. It's just the basic one, just the text. The Hanging Chads, by the way, the Hanging Chads, yo, some of these votes, some of these were like, we had, I think Jack Sparrow won by like 2 on one of them. Forrest Pump won by 1. There were some that were like, and this is like a couple hundred votes, like 1 vote away. So it was very close. It wasn't as like, oh, this crushed. It was very close, a bunch of them. All right. So a few people chose go to the fucking gym, but it's not just which one's the winner. It's how many of all the brackets you got. So we got to see which one. So anyway, and then we'll have, so it was rigged. No, it wasn't rigged. I got it wrong. So it's not that rigged. I didn't do it. I personally, I didn't look at any of it. I didn't do any of that. But other members of the Swole team chose Forrest Pump. I chose Back to the Fucking Gym. Mama Swolio chose Go to the Fucking Gym. And I'm impressed. I mean, which is great because you have to choose. You had to choose what you thought would be voted for, not necessarily what you liked the best. And when I look at this, I thought Depth Vader was going to get all the way there, but I do appreciate, because I do like Jack Sparrow equally, if not a little bit more than Depth Vader. So it's good. It's good. I appreciate it. It kind of gives me a nice like peace and like satisfaction that Go to the Fucking Gym won, of all the designs and all the work and all the effort making all these designs. Of course, it doesn't negate any of the other designs, but it's funny how that one won. So next year we'll do it a little bit differently. I want to do more. So everyone in Telegram is like, too complicated. Oh, it's going to get more complicated. No, next year I want to do more. I want to do either, this is 32. I'm thinking next year we do 64, which is a lot. I don't know. Maybe we just keep the 32, but next year I want to do certain ones like top sellers, like whatever the top sellers for that year. But then I want to leave, you know how some of these playoff games, whether it's baseball, you have like a wild card. I want to do ones where like the Swole fam votes for certain designs to get in. Cause you might like a design that isn't a top seller. And then we could have certain ones, like maybe people that won, we'll think about it, but maybe a couple, like the top place winners get to choose a shirt that they want in, like they get to vote in a certain design or something like that. So we want to have some open slots where it could be like a wild card. I bet you we're going to have like the returning. So should we have the returning champ come back? Or should it just be like, all right, you won last year, you don't get to compete? No, because they go to the fucking gym, might just win every year. It might just win every year. But who knows? But anyway, I want to do some more wild card where like it's not limited to like, hey, these are the best sellers. Because there's a lot of other great shirts that we didn't put here. And some of you were like, hey, where's this? Where's that? We got like, I don't know. We do new merch every week. And it's been like a few years. We have like what, probably 200 designs or something out there. Yeah, should we retire the shirt? What do you guys think? I'll start studying it. Retire the shirt or not? I like that. Should we hang it up in the... Yeah, fuck your feelings wasn't on there. Ooh, I like that. I like what you said, Riley. Should we retire? Should I hang it up in the gym? Like in the rafters, right? Should we like retire the shirt? Like, retiring the jersey ceremony? Nah, we got to go to the fucking gym return. I don't know. This is going to be like, I'm just going to have like go to the fucking gym shirts like hanging every year. It's going to be like the running joke. We'll have all these like maybe like 100 different designs, like go to the fucking gym ones. Yeah, the Swole Hall of Fame, like maybe we have that. But then what, after a few years, we're just not going to have those shirts in the running anymore. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Anyway, so the winner, go to the fucking gym. And like I mentioned, we're going through. So Riley says, retire it and what wins? Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm open to ideas. Riley says, retire it. And then the next time, whichever one wins. So are you saying that next year, whichever one's the champion, it's that versus go to the fucking gym? I bet you go to the fucking gym is going to be like, yeah, win. But I think what we have to do is going to be like, we'll have that and then we'll have like the legends. It's March Madness legends and all the victors are going to go head to head. I don't know. Yeah. The champion face off. Yeah. So maybe March Madness, like we could do it a different way. It could be more random. We can have people. This is just how we did it this year for fun. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. So I want to expand it next year because we have a lot of designs. I want to do something where you guys can, hey, this might not be a top selling design, but who knows? Maybe you'll knock off some other ones and give it a run for its money. All right, cool. Excellent. Go to the fucking gym. So thanks for playing, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun. It's like the psychology of like some of these. So like, yeah, a lot of you, like even when we're doing it, we're thinking like, we're all talking about it. Like, yeah, go to the fucking gym's probably going to win in the end. But it's fun to see who voted for which ones. I'm actually a little bit surprised. It's logical that Jack Sparrow made it to the finals because it was great. But I feel I didn't expect it to beat Deadlift. Gaindolf, yeah, I think, but it's also hard to say because Gaindolf is like a black and white design. So sometimes color might win out. Like if you put one on the left and one on the right, people read left to right. So is there a bias there? It's kind of hard to, like, what's the human psychology behind it? Jack Sparrow versus Depth Vader. And Depth Vader is one of our all-time best-selling designs. All time. Much more than Jack Sparrow. And Super Swole Bros. Back to the fucking gym. Killer. But it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, I feel good that Go to the Fucking Gym won. It's just, of all the designs, it's just like, yep, go to the fucking gym. Riley says you need seasonal face-offs. Coming from the person who says it's too complicated, I'm not doing it. You're like, we should do it more often. Seasonal face-offs, that could be cool. We could have like a merch showdown. It could be something like for, maybe we do that around 4th of July. Maybe we do like a 4th of July face-off where it's like a mini scrum versus like all the America designs, you know? Maybe we could do like a little mini challenge or something like that. You know, this is like this is kind of like something I was thinking about doing something with the merch, like playing cards or something like that. Like you play war, like you have different shirts and different, ooh, you slap down a Depth Vader. That'd be cool for playing cards. Yeah. The top 10 face off. We'll see. We'll see. Merch Madness. Very nice. It worked out. It worked out. Thank you for everyone that played, and we'll get to those winners, and we'll have some cool giveaways and stuff. We'll have some cool giveaways, merch, and we got a bunch of ideas. So we'll see who is first, second, and third place, and we'll announce what those prizes are. Keeping it simple this year, but I think we'll scale it and we'll do it again next year because now people know what to expect and they've seen it online and it's cool. It's fun. It's fun. I think my favorite, the funniest one when I saw the bracket originally, kind of niche, didn't get a lot of because it was just, first round, but it cracked me up seeing the Dora Vamos al Puto Gimnasio versus Ice in the first round. I thought that was funny.
Emotional,
and Dora won. She got away. Ice was at the airport and she slipped through. She slipped through the stand-ins for TSA. Dora got through, got away from Ice, and then got destroyed by Ozempic. And then she took Ozempic and then had to go back to the fucking gym. Trying to tell a story behind it. You didn't notice Dora versus Ice? Yeah. That was awesome. Just snuck that in there. Maybe no one knows Dora versus Ice. All right. Let's do this. We got a Swole card. This one is, and by the way, if you enjoy Wicked or anyone, I know it's very niche, defying obesity. And a lot of you probably didn't see, you're not big on Broadway. You go to the fucking gym. This is talk about threading the needle, right? Something like Hamilton. Some of you cracked up if you know the musical Hamilton, but this is talk about a niche. Like I know some of you were like, I don't know that one. Maybe it didn't hit you. Cracks me up like crazy. But it's a very niche crossover, right? How many people are really into Broadway and really into lifting weights? Like, so that shirt was made for like 7 people. I don't know any theater nerds that like to, I want to boss. Oh, I like that. Oh, I should have done that for Patty's Day. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I like Wicked Swole. We'll do that one. Should have done that for Patty's Day. That'd been good. That's good anytime. Wicked Swole, my guy. You like my guy, yeah. Wicked Swole, my guy. Yeah, we'll do that. Wicked Swole, my guy. That's right. Wicked Swole. Yeah. Yeah, Hamilton is like for 10 people. Anyone that's going to see Hamilton or going really into Broadway probably doesn't lift. So I'm not sure who's going to, I don't even know if he sold any of those. I love it though. Cracks me up. So if it makes me laugh, we'll make it. Let's give away the Swole card. It is Swole for life. Falcon, pick me a winner. Pick me a winner for that chicken dinner. Oh yeah, bish. All right, we got a winner today. Ooh, we got a winner. It is Mike Zasrilla Miller. Congratulations, we got a winner. Mike, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3609, the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Fantastic. Congratulations, Miguel, on winning today's Swole card. Now let's do a throwback. Oh, you're very welcome. Congratulations.
End of the day, trans people are less than 1%.
Oh, shit. All right, hold on.
Are there any women here today?
Let's go.
End of the day, trans people are less than 1% of the population, and trans people are not the reason you can't afford eggs. We're not the reason that you can't afford health care. We're not the reason that you can buy a house or your rent's too high. I think they're focused on the wrong 1%. I think the other 1% is the reason for all this pain.
Oh, yeah, communism. The billionaires. Oh, it's the people with money that are the problem. No, it's all your mental retardation.
Gay!
Brilliant. Love it. Excellent. Excellent. Ah, oh, God, I love that fucking meme. Gay. Fucking cracks me up. That was awesome. That was a great one. It should have just gone. It should have kept on going, like a whole montage of all the insane shit. All right, that was lit. Great. We'll end it there. Fam, thanks for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe, join us over at swolenormousx.com. Share the show with your friends. Go check out. That was a good throwback. That was a really good one. I liked it. Make sure you go and check out the podcast this weekend. We had 3607 and 08 reality check and simple food. So a bunch of you already checked it out. You commented on it. Make sure you comment on Spotify because I can read them. Why doesn't Apple do that? Why doesn't Apple allow you to comment on whatever? I guess it just removes liability for who knows what. But anyway, it's cool. You can comment on it on Spotify or wherever you listen. But check out those episodes. Join us over at swolenormousx.com. We got specials on merch, and Merch Madness is over. Go get yourself some Go to the Fucking Gym merch, Defying Obesity. Get yourself some Hamilton. Go to the fucking gym. Go to the fucking gym. Stop being a fat chode. All right? We'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGee's, deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swoleo. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies, you children popping.